Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Lei, and today we're tackling something that might hit too close to home. Picture this. You wake up early, your calendar is packed with meetings and deadlines, and by the time you collapse into bed 14 hours later, you feel empty. Hollow. You were insanely busy all day, but somehow you accomplished nothing meaningful. Sound familiar? Here's the uncomfortable truth. The busier we get, the less we actually accomplish. The more we try to be productive, the further we drift from purpose. I call this the productivity paradox, and today I'm going to show you exactly how to break free from it. You'll learn the two invisible forces hijacking your time, why willpower always fails, and a simple 4-part framework to take back control of your attention. Stick with me, because this might change everything. Let me tell you about my rock bottom. A few years ago, as a middle school teacher, I was the poster child for productivity. My calendar was packed tighter than a Tokyo subway car. I wore my exhaustion like a badge of honor, but after those grueling 14-hour days, I'd lose myself in video games until 2 in the morning, desperately trying to fill a void I couldn't name. Netflix binges became my escape. Social media scrolling became my default state. Despite all that frantic activity, I felt completely purposeless. If this sounds like your life, you're not broken. This isn't a personal failing, it's a design problem. Once I understood the two forces hijacking my life, everything changed. The first force is the busy bandwagon. This is our cultural obsession with constant motion, that voice insisting if you're not frantically multitasking, you're falling behind. It's pressure to fill every minute with productive activity, even when it doesn't move you toward anything meaningful. I lived on the busy bandwagon for years. My identity became wrapped up in how many plates I could spin. But spinning plates isn't progress. It's exhausting performance art. The second force? Infinity pools. These are apps designed for endless, refreshing content. If you can pull to refresh, it's an infinity pool. Think Instagram, Twitter, Netflix, YouTube. These aren't just distractions. They're sophisticated, attention harvesting machines built by teams of neuroscientists and data scientists. Here's the genius. They don't feel harmful. Checking Instagram feels productive. Reading news feels like staying informed. But these activities are engineered to be irresistible, consuming the mental resources you need for what actually matters. I learned about these forces from Make Time by Jake Knapp and John Zeratsky, former Google executives who built Gmail, YouTube, and Google Hangouts. They helped create the monster, then realized it was devouring their own lives. Now you might think, I just need more discipline, right? Wrong. You cannot willpower your way out of this trap. The same companies employing the smartest minds in technology and psychology are competing against your tired Tuesday evening brain. It's not a fair fight. You're not weak, you're human. The solution isn't stronger willpower, it's better systems. And that's what the Make Time method gives you. The Make Time framework has 4 pillars: highlight, laser, energize, and reflect. This creates what they call time sovereignty. You choose where your attention goes instead of having it stolen. Let's start with highlight. Every morning, choose one thing that will be your highlight, not 10 things, one. This single practice has been more transformative than any productivity hack I've tried. You filter through 3 lenses: the urgency lens, what must get done today; the satisfaction lens, what will give you the deepest accomplishment; and the joy lens, what will make your heart sing. The magic is choosing intentionally rather than letting the day happen to you. Every morning, I write 3 highlights, but here's the key. None are work tasks. They might be: write 500 words for my article, do a 30-minute workout, read 1 chapter. If I don't complete all 3, I roll them to tomorrow. This isn't about perfection. It's consistent progress on what matters. This transformed my life. It's how I maintain my writing schedule, built an exercise habit, and read more books this year than the previous 5 combined. Instead of drowning in endless to-do lists, I have clear direction. Now, choosing a highlight is just the beginning. Actually focusing on it, that's where most people fail. This brings us to laser. Modern distractions aren't just annoying, they're engineered to hijack your attention. Knapp and Zeratsky know this because they built these products. Every notification, every pull to refresh animation exists for one reason: to capture your attention as long as possible. The solution is strategic friction. Instead of resisting temptation through willpower, design your environment to make distraction harder and focus easier. If you're eating healthier, you don't keep cookies in the kitchen. Same principle. Your smartphone is your biggest enemy. Create a distraction-free phone. Remove social media, email, news apps, and games. Keep only genuinely useful tools like maps and camera. Log out of everything. Make accessing distracting sites require passwords every time. Clear your home screen to just a background image. Wear a wristwatch so you don't check your phone for time. I implemented this 6 months ago, and the results were immediate. Those reflexive phone-checking habits disappeared. My phone became a tool I use intentionally, not a compulsion. Here's my favorite story. When Victor Hugo needed to finish The Hunchback of Notre Dame, he gave all his clothes to his servant and locked himself in his room wearing only a shawl. Unable to leave without embarrassment, he had no choice but to write. You don't need to strip naked, but the principle holds. Removing the option to get distracted beats trying to resist distraction. An email, deal with it at day's end, not when your focus is sharpest. Check it at predetermined times. Treat emails like old-fashioned letters that don't need immediate responses. Now the third pillar, energize. Most productivity advice ignores this. Your brain and body aren't separate. If you want mental energy, clarity, and focus, you must care for your physical well-being. This isn't optional, it's fundamental. I lived both sides of this. For years, I was sedentary and overweight, eating whatever I wanted. I felt lethargic constantly, dealt with joint pain, felt embarrassed publicly. My mental state matched: sluggish, unfocused, negative. Then I hit a breaking point. I was tired of being tired. I started by changing my identity. I thought of myself as a wellness enthusiast who prioritizes health and movement, then aligned my behaviors with that identity. The change was remarkable. Today, I wake up energetic and positive, ready for challenges. I have stamina for long work sessions and clarity for complex problems. This isn't about vanity. It's about having energy for what matters most. What does energizing look like? First, movement. Aim for 20 minutes daily. Walking, bodyweight exercises, yoga, dancing. Consistency beats intensity. Even light movement improves memory, focus, creativity, and mood. Second, real food. Focus on whole foods humans have eaten for thousands of years. Vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, fish, meat. Avoid processed foods. Stable blood sugar equals stable energy. Third, prioritize sleep. Keep screens out of your bedroom. Create a pre-sleep routine. Go to bed and wake up at the same time daily. Quality sleep might be the most underrated productivity tool. The fourth pillar is reflect. Make time isn't rigid. It's a framework for experimentation. What works for me might not work for you. Approach your time like a scientist studying yourself. Every day is an experiment. Keep daily notes. Did I make time for my highlight? How was my focus? 1 to 10. What energized me? What tactics worked? What am I grateful for? This builds awareness and identifies patterns. You'll notice you focus better after morning exercise, or email first thing derails your day, or certain highlights get skipped. Crucial advice: don't implement everything at once. Don't aim for perfection. The goal isn't becoming a productivity robot. It's gradually shifting from reactive to intentional, scattered to focused, busy to purposeful. Start simple. Week 1, choose a daily highlight. Remove one distracting app. Take a 20-minute walk. Try end-of-day email. Reflect on what worked. Week 2, add a second highlighting technique. Create a device-free bedroom. Block your biggest distraction. Track energy levels. By week 3, challenge yourself to a full distraction-free phone day. By week 4, refine your system based on data. After a month, you'll notice intentional mornings, sustained focus, better energy, and growing control over your time. At 90 days, these become automatic. Digital distractions lose their grip. Your energy stabilizes. You'll experience time sovereignty, confidence that you're spending finite time on what truly matters. Those daily highlights compound. 60 to 90 minutes, 4 days a week equals over 300 hours yearly. Imagine where you'll be in 2 years of consistent focus on what matters. More importantly, you'll shift how you move through the world. Instead of feeling like a victim of your calendar and technology, you'll be the architect of your experience. Here's my challenge. Will you continue letting the busy bandwagon and infinity pools dictate how you spend precious time? Or will you intentionally design days around what matters most? Your future self is waiting. For more depth, I've written a comprehensive article at bullishbooks.com. The article includes additional tactics you can experiment with. If this resonated, I'd love to hear about your experiments. What's your biggest challenge with time and attention? What tactics will you try first? Leave a comment and let's continue this conversation. Thanks for spending this time with me. Remember, you have more control than you think. You just need the right system. Until next time, make your time count.